Hello and welcome to Council Recap, where we take the content of the City Council meetings and give you the breakdown. I'm Kayla Moeller. There were a few presentations this week. First, the Independent Cities Risk Management Authority gave an overview for the budget for 2021 to 2022 and programs including liability, workers' comp, property, and they also went over cost-saving measures and program renewals. Next, we heard from the Hawthorne PD's Head of Community Affairs, Amy Yoshida, with a monthly update for their unit. They've started back up with their Coffee with a Cop program and will be doing more community outreach now that COVID restrictions are lessening. They'll be popping up in various neighborhoods with trailers and canopies to be accessible to the community, and every third week they'll have futsal at Jim Thorpe Park throughout the summer. And finally, they've started back attending local neighborhood association meetings. Also, we heard from Hawthorne School District Superintendent Helen Morgan, who presented the Roger G. Bly Leadership Award to Chief Michael Ishii of the Hawthorne Police Department. The final presentation was from Cal Water on their Urban Management Planning Act. It will support long-term water resource planning to ensure adequate supplies. Locally, the Hawthorne water supply is projected to be reliable. In the resolution portion of the meeting, Resolution 8278 was adopted to continue waiving permit fees for outdoor dining at restaurants in the city through June 30th, 2022. As a result of COVID-19, outdoor dining has become a more common activity, and waiving permit fees serves the public health, safety, and welfare of the city. Resolution 8287 was passed to adopt a records retention schedule for the Hawthorne Housing Authority, in particular for records relating to the Section 8 Housing Voucher Program. This will assure that the records retention schedule regularly reflects schedule changes, and a separate records retention schedule has been created for the Housing Authority. Resolution 8288 was passed to destroy records from the Hawthorne Housing Authority for Section 8 housing from between 2007 through 2017. This will also authorize going forward the destruction of records that are 3 years old from the end of the housing beneficiary's participation in the program. In the public hearing portion, Council opened and closed a hearing on Resolution 8285 that was approved to adopt the City of Hawthorne's 2020 Urban Water Management Plan and authorizing its filing with the California Department of Water Resources. The purpose of the plan is to comply with certain water code sections for urban water suppliers who are providing water to more than 3,000 customers. The 2020 Urban Water Plan is an update to the last one in 2016. It includes the changes that occurred in the city for the last 5 years and provides new information. A hard copy of the 2020 UWMP is available at the Hawthorne City Clerk's office. Next, Ordinance 2223 was introduced, and it will clarify certain language related to zone boundaries. This will allow new buildings to cross zone boundaries, but will also require each portion of the development to follow the more restrictive development regulations. Next, in the general matters portion, there was a presentation given for a homelessness update. The Hawthorne homeless coordinators are focused on clinical case management, street outreach, and homeless prevention efforts. There are currently 91 people enrolled in the Hawthorne Homeless Coordination Program, and the outreach and engagement services provided are hygiene kits, food bags, brochures on housing and social services, and brochures on COVID testing and vaccines. The coordinators have held a resource fair and a clothing drive and want to remind the public about the LA Hop Portal, which is a homeless outreach tool. The city manager's consent calendar had a few items this week. First, Council approved the addition of funding received from the Department of Housing and Urban Development for the administration of emergency housing vouchers, or EHVs for short, and to adjust the budget accordingly. The city was awarded 66 EHVs to assist individuals and families that are homeless or at risk of homelessness, fleeing domestic violence, and human trafficking. Next, Council received and filed the Housing Successor Agency reports for fiscal year ending 2019 to 2020. This annual report contains a summary of the Housing Successor Agency duties, the balance of the low and moderate income housing funds, an inventory of properties held in the Housing Asset Fund, and reports on the city's performance. Next, Council approved the first progress payment to Martinez Landscape Company of Sylmar, California for the improvement project at Holly Park and Ramona Park. At Holly Park, there will be replacements of the play and exercise equipment, a community garden, and new barbecue pits will be added, as well as the lighting will be improved. At Ramona Park, the basketball courts, bocce ball area, and benches will be rehabilitated. Then, Council approved the 5th progress payment to Martinez Landscape Company for general maintenance. This contract includes the replacement of asphalt, sidewalks, and curbs. The payment also includes tree planting and removal and maintenance to medians along major Hawthorne roadways. Next, Council approved progress payment number 3 to Sialic Contractors Corporation DBA Shawnon of Downey, California. This project is on Prairie Avenue and will include widening the intersection at Rosecrans Avenue to incorporate a bike route and to replace pavement sections and overlay the entire avenue with a new layer of asphalt. The storm drains will also be improved. Council also approved the first amendment to the consultant agreement for airport services between the City of Hawthorne and C&S Engineers, Inc. This amendment will allow additional administration and observation costs for the construction phase of the taxiways at the Hawthorne Municipal Airport. The construction phase includes reconstruction of certain taxiway areas and placement of new pavement following FAA design guidelines to reduce unwanted poolings of water. Finally, Council approved a certificate of termination of development agreement pertaining to a property on Wilkie Avenue. Section 101 of the development agreement said the terms would last for 10 years and upon expiration would be terminated. Well, that's it for the meeting this week. Thank you for joining us for Council Recap. Remember, you can always watch the City Council meetings in their entirety by going to www.youtube.com and searching for Hawthorne Community Television. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you next time.